It's not recording.
Okay. Yeah, I got the confirmation on my end at least.
Me too.
Cool.
See, this door closes more. It's a kitchen cleanup party downstairs.
So, Alex, how loud is it for you? Because it really doesn't bleed through the mic. Loud enough to be annoying?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a good thing I'm not reading complicated book.
Okay.
There's
Steve's getting
Steve.
mood lighting set up for us.
Highly irregular.
Hello, gentlemen and ladies.
Go.
Hi, Steven.
Hey, you know, Steve, Metamucil will take care of that irregularity for you.
Oh. Oh. Just noticed that that's from my trivia. That's my trivia team.
Oh, okay.
I have no objections if you keep it as that. As long
I
as
have more-
Andrew lists you as that in the
Or then I
minutes.
should change it.
I will.
Tim, are you playing trivia as well on Sunday nights? Oh, okay. I'm on a different team.
And who's
I got it.
doing Sunday night trivia?
Yeah, what is this?
Matt Johnson is doing it on Facebook.
Very cool.
Ooh.
Sunday nights.
Yep, so you can get a team together and let Matt know you want to join. And the money, any money raised goes to charity.
Oh, so you can't win it.
No.
All right, shall we call the meeting to order? Christine, this meeting is going to be like some board business and then some planning stuff. The meeting at which people will get excitable is probably the one on Monday where we're talking about the hospital.
By the way-
That said, if anything's interesting, chime in. Kendra, you were saying?
Sounds good.
I was just saying, I did also, someone says LDH was invited to the meeting. I also made sure my liaison to the hospital knew that it was happening as well. Gotta make sure somebody's there.
Be great.
Would folks mind muting when they're not speaking? Yeah, and I think that'll be a good conversation on Monday. I apologize. I read Andrew's email that said we have a quorum for December 3rd at 7 and read that as December 7th, which is why that is the date that got thrown out for the hospital meeting. I shouldn't do more than one thing at once. So thank you all for your, understanding on why we're having two meetings back to back. I even messed it up when Alex called me out on the mistake, and I was getting the meetings set for him to make Zooms. I still messed it up again because, again, I was doing more than one thing at once. So my apologies, but it'll be a good meeting on Monday. Did everybody first get a chance to look at the October annual meeting minutes? For those that aren't, that haven't seen them via email, they are in the Zoom chat. The first one is
Tim, they may not see them. I think if you join after something goes in the chat, you don't see it. So you may need to repost it.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do that here. And I think these are set that anybody can see them.
Yeah,
know that
I saw them
can edit
from
them.
some other random account that I'm
Okay.
on. So yeah, my
Yeah, there's
true account.
In any corrections to the minutes? Looks good. Then in that case, let's put them up for a vote for approval. I'll take a motion.
I so move.
Any seconds? Karen
I'll sec-
seconds. Thumbs up to approve. All right. So approved. And then Steve sent us a PDF of the treasurer's report. Did everybody get a chance to take a look at that? There were no changes. That's the important thing. And I will add to that. So we do have construction costs for the installation of the bulletin board on at Lime and James. That'll be about $100. I just haven't gotten the receipt over to Steve yet. And then the other thing to talk about now that the bulletin boards are installed, we had written into that grant application money to buy a color printer and then printing supplies so that we could print the newsletter. I have some thoughts on like what a good printer would be. If anyone else is interested in, riding along with that decision, I think we had put a specific model in the grant application, but anything that kind of fits that, mode of color laser. The laser printer is important in that case, mostly because it doesn't dry out like an inkjet. So even if we're only printing newsletters once a month, the ink, the toner will still be good. So with all that said, that'll probably be about a $400 expense on next month's treasurer's report, so that we can start making full use of those bulletin boards and not making Steve use his own consumables to get stuff up onto the board. All that said, any corrections to the treasurer's report, or shall we put it up for approval as well?
I so move.
Second.
All in favor, thumbs up. Keeps us from having to unmute and mute again. Thank you. Okay. Next up, we do have to have an officers election. So right now, I'm president, Andrew is secretary, and Steve is treasurer. I think all three of us are willing to do another term. Does anybody else want to like throw their hat in the ring for those positions, or shall we vote on that slate as provided?
Yes, I nominate the current office holder to be reelected for a subsequent term.
Second.
All in favor. Thank you for your votes of confidence. My goal will be to systematize the presidency so that I become irrelevant and the organization can exist with or without me.
Yeah, something made all too clear recently.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I'll be doing that here at the cemetery too in the coming year, because that's wild. So for those that hadn't heard, we lost our board president to a heart attack at the cemetery. So everyone else on the board is looking at each other thinking, we know everything we need to know, right?
Just like, I don't know shit.
And everybody's like, I think we're good. Like, I think we're just, missing a lot of like oral history. But time will tell if there's actually something that we don't know that we need to know. So one of my goals for Neighbors United in the next year is to get everything written down into documentation so that we can all freely come and go from these officer positions and from board membership without feeling like we're leaving the organization in a lurch. This organization has been going on for decades now, and it can continue on in decades to come if we make it easy for people to join and for people to step away as needed. So with all that said, I think the link I didn't share yet was the 2021 planning document. That's kind of the meat and potatoes of this particular meeting. And this is kind of an amalgamation of feedback that we heard during our annual meeting. And then also Andrew put a lot of time into his thoughts on what he wanted 2021 to look like as well. And so this is kind of the part of the meeting where, as the board, we kind of think about what we'd like to see in 2021, how the calendar chunks up, what things do we need to start on now? Do we need any, official or unofficial, subcommittees to like look at specific things? I'll give everybody just a minute to like look over that 2021 planning doc. I see all the icons. I see you're all looking at it, but I'll give you a second to read it.
Well, I guess one way to decide on what we do is who wants to carry that flag for, they're all really cool ideas, but I kind of think it might be more ideas than manpower.
Oh yeah, we're definitely not doing all of this. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Maybe other people will step up, or maybe we all have more than 168 hours in every week. And if any of you actually do have more than 168 hours, let me know your secret. I don't promise I would do more than waste the time by looking at memes on the internet, but I know from like a timing perspective, we will have elections coming up for a lot of city positions. And in the past, the organization has hosted some forums, both for city council and mayor and whatnot. Is that something that we'd be interested in hosting again, even if it is a purely virtual thing? Okay. How do we want to handle that? Like, are those partisan or nonpartisan events for the primary? Like, I know that the primary election is a partisan election.
Yeah.
Is that how we want to handle candidate forums?
For the last time we did a candidate forum for the mayoral race in 2017, one of the big things that was brought up was making sure that the moderators, or the people who were asking questions, or at least keeping the flow going, weren't directly connected with like a Democratic committee or Republican committee, but they were just basically civilians, so to speak. So I think we have enough of them in the neighborhood where we could definitely find some good hosts who wouldn't have a conflict of interest, so to speak, for that.
Sure.
All the questions came from neighbors ahead of time. They submitted them about a week ahead of time. And for the sake of not having a I got you moment, basically all the candidates were given a list of those questions so that they could be prepared and really give good answers as part of it. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's essentially how we did it last time.
And so kind of back to the format, remind me, like, so would we invite all of the, say, mayoral candidates, regardless of party, to this one?
Yeah, I think it would be important that we do so, but last time we didn't, I don't think we had, no, maybe we did have a Republican running for mayor. I'm not sure we're going to have any Republicans running this year, but
okay,
if we do, I think they should be invited.
They're too busy running the county and the state.
Hey, Noah, I'm going to drop a link in chat. It is the planning document that we're looking at right now, in case you're interested in tagging along.
I'd love to take a look, but I just wanted to jump in, say hey, and run again. Unfortunately, it's one of those times that I've got a million things going on and I can't really stay in chat, but want you guys to know, hey, and I care.
Well, we're glad you could drop in, Noah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the idea of another mayoral town hall sort of thing. And hey, if you guys need anything, let me know. I'm here for you.
Sounds good. Thank you. I think we have some. I mean, I know we have Democrats in the room. Are y'all actively still engaged with the party that like you could get in touch? Okay. Do we know who the Republican? Like, do we have contacts with the Republican Party that if they have candidates, we can?
My next door neighbor is the Republican committee person for this precinct.
Okay.
Because I can talk to him and find out if he wants to send someone over or how, whatever they want.
Okay. What would make sense for like a date for that?
Yeah, I think something like March or April.
Yeah, I just like to get it on the calendar. That way, like we're much like the Iowa caucuses, like are early in the game. Like I'd like to get it on the calendar early, so that other people they can save the date basically.
I think early April would be good, or late March.
Yeah.
Would like April 8th, the Thursday at 7 p.m. be good?
Yeah. Now, that's assuming people running for mayor are going to have that date available.
Well, we're going to tell them right now, tomorrow.
Well, I don't even know if they know they're running yet.
Hey, Neighbors United is important enough that they can make time for us.
Well, that'll be part of their decision whether or not to run if they have that evening open.
I mean, the Neighbors United bump alone is going to get them like hundreds of votes. I mean, it's pretty much decided what happens in 6-4. I mean, that's it.
Hundreds of dollars in donations too.
There are dozens of us.
Yes. Yes. I remember what happened with Tony Dastra, how he was just making his decision at the time. So we still allowed him to do opening statements and closing statements, but he wasn't part of the actual debate because it was almost like he had just thrown his fedora into the ring. And so as long as we have flexibility, I think we can do almost anything. That date would be a good date. It's right before things really start picking up, I think. And it will probably be right in there before like Crispus Attucks or somewhere else, League of Women Voters. I think we'll be before them. So that'll be a good time to do it.
Okay, cool.
So what about city council or any of the other races?
We didn't do a city council thing last time, did we? Should we? How do we like? Do we know what is the? I'm going to show my ignorance. How many spots are open and how big's the field?
I think there's either 3 or 4 spots open. 4?
It was 3
Well,
last
not open.
time, so it's probably 4.
4 spots.
Yeah.
So, there could be a good 8 to 10 people competing for those 4 spots, especially across 2 parties.
What would the format be like with that many people?
Complicated.
Highly managed.
You'll have 4 people repeat what the person in front of them said. Pretty much.
So it's
Do
a
we
drinking
have a
game.
forum or- Sorry. Do we have a forum or do we just allow them to speak and tell us, what they're running on, what they're about?
Good.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I think that there's a lot of benefit in just having them, give their 6-minute spiel. Like, who are these people?
So more like a meet and greet.
Kind of.
And we do that at the 6-word skate park, or where are you thinking?
Well, so Karen, you just mentioned that like they'll repeat each other. What if we, since COVID is probably still going to be going on, we can't, have it at Ross Street UMC. Let's say there is 8 candidates for city council. Like, what if we schedule a little bit of time with each of them, pre-record their answers and just post it on the group. So that way, like they aren't able to, like if Alex speaks before me, I can't repeat all of Alex's good points because I just happen to go after him. Would that be a way to like get their message out kind of fairly?
Yeah, but then we can't ask questions.
Well, what if you started with that and then had them join later?
I think too, it might also depend on how many people are in fact running for city council. That might help. You know, if there's
That's-
only 4, that might be different than if there's 12.
That's true. If there's only 4, it's like, congratulations, you're all in.
Yeah, I think that's unlikely. I don't know. I'm optimistic. And, being a member of the Democratic City Committee, it seems like there's been a lot of energy in the party. And I think we'll get at least half a dozen Democrats interested in running for those 4 seats. So I'm hoping 1 or 2 token Republicans can turn up and look grumpy and unpleasant, and it'll be a great election.
I mean, I'm totally 100% nonpartisan, so I hope they're.
But I like the idea of, perhaps just providing a video internet platform for the candidates to give their initial, who they are, instead of trying to manage some crazy 20-way debate.
Okay, so maybe pre-recorded introductions with a potential follow-up for a meet and greet, citizen questions. Should we pencil in a date for that one as well?
I would
Now
think
I'm really going to show my ignorance. When's the primary again?
May?
yeah. I don't know the exact date.
I think it's the second Tuesday in May, isn't it? So that would be May 11th.
Something like that.
May 18th, I guess, according to Ballotopedia.
Okay. Mount St. Helens Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
1980?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 12.
I was 0.
Made a big impression on me.
Oh, that's right. You were actually out there, weren't you?
I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were looking to the south and it was like, whoo, there it goes.
So what date do we think? We've got the 8th for the mayoral. Andrew, you're muted.
It's confounded technology. Well, with that one, because it is the idea that maybe we will do pre-recorded messages, we could kind of have a gathering time when we get all the ideas and then we can release it. So it wouldn't have to be really as set as stone, but we could have it almost the same day coinciding with the 8th or somewhere very close to that.
Okay.
Depending how many people threw in their hats.
You mean
Kendra and
gonna-
Alex, you guys would know when is the due date now for getting, what is the word, when endorsed by the party? Is that coming up in February or March?
No, it's all in February.
Yeah.
So that's early.
Yeah.
But, there's plenty of unendorsed people on the primary ballot. And sometimes they win.
True.
But by then we'd have a good idea because people are trying to get that. We'd have a really good idea of who's throwing in their hats definitely by February to send out invitations and get them on board.
Yeah. So, we could do a city council thing in March.
We could.
Okay. Name a date. March 25th.
Did I hear you say something that we're taking all the city council people to all the different pubs and bars in the Northeast, and we're going to do stump speeches at their doors at 7 a.m. in the morning? Is that what I heard?
The video camera.
With a video camera. Whoever's left standing at the end is going to be our next president. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, that'll be fun. Stricken from the minutes.
Oh, come on.
March,
Andrew, the video is being recorded, or the meeting.
For all eternity.
March 25th sounds good.
Okay.
Sure.
And
Thank you, Karen, for keeping us on focus.
I don't know that I'm really on focus, but yeah, I'm trying.
So is someone gonna be in charge of organizing that?
is that one? So how many of us are on the Democratic City Committee? Okay, so none of you three should organize that, basically.
Yeah.
And we have a little bit of time, but yeah, so Andrew, Karen, or I can, or, you know, like Katie, when she joins us, because she's not on the committee, is she?
I
Chafin?
think so.
Okay, so between the four of us, we have the person power to organize that.
We'll get a date
Also-
on a calendar probably, right? And then just send out invitation to the different party leaders.
Exactly. Steve, I'm marking down that you know one of the Republican committee members as well.
Is Lisa Cologne still the chair for the party? City? Democrat,
I know she's-
Republican,
I know
Lisa
she's still
Cologne.
involved.
Okay.
What was that, Steve?
I don't know anything else other than what Ted's involvement is.
Okay.
And I know Lisa's involved, and I talked with her because she does, the Blue Star Mothers do some stuff out here at the cemetery, so I can reach out to her as well. What next on our annual planning? Sorry, I just wanted to get that one out of the way because there's dates involved. And I know there's dates involved for everything. It's just, I always want to get on the calendar early for that one. So.
Did we decide we're not going to do anything for Christmas?
We hadn't talked, I mean, so traditionally our Christmas thing is we all meet at Stubby's.
Yeah. No way in hell I'm going in there for the next several months.
I mean, I wish.
Yeah.
At some point, we talked about having food trucks maybe and a neighborhood thing, but I guess it's too late to do that.
Yeah, one of the things I asked permission for at the end of the annual meeting was to just talk to a couple people, see how we can make it work. I talked with Kyle Sullenberger, who was, connected a lot with the pop-up park on Prince Street. And he said there's a couple things that are kind of happening already in the area that are going to be known pretty soon. And he didn't foresee, other than maybe a couple retail people, there going to be any investment in people wanting to come out for that, because there's already like people just aren't in the mood for it. I don't know how else to describe it.
Okay.
So he wasn't thinking of investing in that too heavily. Kind of hit a couple walls. Really, not too many people seem to express an interest in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Alex on that one. Like, I can't see myself doing it, just because of everything that's going on and how the numbers are going up.
Yeah.
I mean, I know in the past we've done like in nicer weather, granted, pop-up coffee shops with, Tim. And we could do like an outdoor coffee / hot chocolate thing where people are socializing outdoors. As long as they know it's going to be potentially cold. Like I can, we
But I
actually,
think because of the COVID numbers rising, that it's probably better to not do anything. I just wanted to see if we were still doing anything. But it's
Okay.
probably better.
okay. So that was not wishful thinking on your part that we would do something.
No, I was
Okay.
just wondering if anybody had done anything towards actually doing it.
Well, I mean, so
No.
Andrew did the research, but
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could we just like hack into a couple Zoom meetings and just start caroling? I mean, it's just as obtrusive as knocking on someone's door.
Why can't you do the flatbed truck with a whole bunch of carols?
Oh yeah, like the Prima thing. Yeah,
It would be cool.
that'd be really cool.
and less illegal than hacking into Zooms.
Yes.
True.
Well, we could, what's it called? Flash mob, city council committee meetings on Zoom, right? As citizens of the city, we all sign up for a HARB or, whatever stormwater drainage committee meeting, and then start caroling about 11 minutes in.
Nobody shows up for the debate.
That actually sounds like fun.
No, if we would have thought about this in advance, it might have been a good idea to do like a holiday lights competition, kind of like the garden competition, because that would be.
Yeah.
Didn't think of
Put
it.
that down here.
A porch contest again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Note that for 21.
Mm-hmm.
I got the best compliment. My neighbor across the street said, "Hey, Alex, you need to come over to my porch and look at your house." I love it. I told him that was my wife's fault.
I haven't been down your way lately. I should check it out, I guess.
Actually, our block's looking pretty good. Although the 500 block is also very nice.
Andrew's block looks pretty good. I haven't been down to the 600. Our block is not good.
Andrew, didn't you do some legwork in your block?
Ladder work.
So I'm terribly afraid of heights, but somehow I talked 3 of my neighbors into using their ladders and going up and hanging lights across all the gutters. So with the exception of 1 or 2 homes, the entire block is just a stream of lights along the gutters. So it looks nice, just something you can leave up all the way till February, really, because they're clear lights. So it really lights up the walkway too. It's not so gloomy at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Nice. Little renegade love your block action. So in terms of like planting flags into topics, things that people want to lead, STEM junk. I mean, STEM things, STEM activities. I'll plant that flag. Who's going to have the chili cook-off flag?
Are we going to schedule that for September?
You want to do it for next October? Getting just a little bit of a chill in the air?
Yeah, I think I'd like to try and organize that.
Okay. Am I allowed to enter the recipe that won last time, years ago? Okay. I know the biggest project that we mentioned at the planning or at the annual meeting was the skate park. Do we want to do some exploratory like 6-word park discussions? We're not going to build a skate park in 2021. Like I kind of see that as a multi-year project, but like, should we do some exploration in the community around like what is the best use of the acreage of 6-word park?
I would like to frame it in how do we increase the use of the 6-word
Okay.
park? Yeah.
Picture that more as like a spring, summer activity though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to get more traffic going past our new bulletin board.
Alex, are you interested in leading that since it might turn into a skate park eventually?
Yeah, since I like brought up the whole thing.
Andrew, you brought up quite a bit about social media presence. I am 100% on board helping you with the website. We do need to get that migrated this year. I added a note to the end of your notes. Web browsers at some point in the next year, if a site isn't using SSL, some browsers are just going to stop loading sites that aren't secure. And ours doesn't use SSL right now. So we really have to, like, from a technical perspective, migrate it. And while we're migrating it, we might as well, revamp it. Maybe this is like 2 action items. Like, I guess, I could plant the flag for the website itself. If Andrew, you want to plant the flag for maybe some of the social media.
I would like as much help as I can get because I know I'm a little stale on it, a little bit behind on trend. I can use a lot of help with just cleaning up the overall look. I can give it the bones and what needs to, like, the background for what can fill those and populate those places. But you guys understand a little bit more of the tech part. And I know people have maybe a more creative eye for what would look good and be a little bit more catchy, especially for phone usage or however we can make that. So I can use help.
Okay.
Feel free to ask me for feedback, Andrew.
There we go.
I don't understand exactly what are you talking about there, Andrew?
Oh, just the idea that
like what platform?
Right now, we have a couple things up on the website, a couple things. If you wanted to just find out some information, you can.
Okay, so the website.
It's not, it's not really integrated though with our Instagram account or Twitter or Facebook, or I know we don't even have TikTok, of course. And my daughter just made a face at me for saying that. But just the idea that somehow what we are out there with, we could definitely be more engaging and we can have more of a seamless transition between them all. So if somebody was interested in learning about, if somebody just typed in, where can I get something good to eat on North Plum Street, we should be able to just have it pop up on a phone with an app or somehow guide people to help increase our businesses here and make things a little bit more accessible. Or anything in the neighborhood for that much, what's going on in the neighborhood.
Yeah, so basically like a cohesive social media plan and then a website that integrates with those social media platforms. I mean, gosh, like I don't even think one person has all of the social media account passwords right now.
I don't.
I think I might have the Twitter account, maybe. And then I think, is it Andrew that you're the one who has the Instagram account?
Yeah, but if I ever like log off on my phone, I'll never be able to get it back. I don't know. I don't even know the numbers or anything. I just know it works right now. It's really bad.
Well, don't lose your phone until we do a password recovery.
Yeah.
And why do we have 2 Facebook pages?
That is a darn good question.
Wait, do we have 2 pages? We have a group and a page, but is there another
Right.
page
We have a group
as well?
and a page.
Well, I guess I don't know why we have both or why.
So
Confuses me too.
Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the idea that like the group, any of the neighbors can post on it. And then the page is like the voice of Neighbors United.
Right, a page is more like the official account, and then the group allows anybody to have access, anybody to communicate, and we're all basically equals. There's no hierarchy on the group versus the page. It's only that. I would have no problem not having the page and just having the group only, but or the other way around.
Well,
It wouldn't matter.
I'm fine with that. Now that you explain what it is, I wonder if we could title it in a way that makes it more clear the difference between the two. Because
Yeah.
I didn't quite realize that, but that makes sense the way you're talking about it.
I think you can link the two as well. Like you can link your Instagram straight to your Facebook page as well.
Yes, yes.
But only to one thing, yeah. So we could link the Instagram to our group page.
I think you can only do pages for Instagram, but
The
maybe-
page, it is the page, yeah.
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 Well, perhaps I was just wondering if a slight name change, like for instance, our page is Northeast Neighbors United, but officially our group is called Lancaster Northeast Neighbors United. Maybe we'd want to add that. And
Wait, did you say Lancaster Living Presents Northeast Neighbors United?
that's right. Yeah, that's the official name. Call now, 717-333-9411. And then, but I was wondering if maybe the group, maybe we just call it Northeast Neighbors.
Yeah, no, I like that because right now they both have the exact same title and say, yeah, so we just call it Northeast Neighbors. I think that would be better.
For the group or the
For the
which
group.
one?
I kind of like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
I like that.
Right, because our 501c3 is called Lancaster Northeast Neighbors United, LNNU.
Right.
And I was wondering if we wanted to use that formal name in more places. I don't know if it matters. It's just kind of a question I had.
Andrew, do you want to rename the group?
Yeah, I'll see how I can make that happen. Yeah, we'll figure out a way. It shouldn't be too hard.
Okay.
So you would be taking United off the group. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because there might be Northeast neighbors that have no interest in being a part of our group and they want to have their own splinter group, but they still want to talk with Northeast neighbors.
There you
Just
go.
not United.
It is
Right.
crazy. We have
Everything
over
but
1,000
United.
people on it.
Northeast Neighbors Unleashed.
Do I hear a
Unhinged.
motion?
Uncowed. Undaunted.
Going rogue.
Andrew, you had mentioned trash cans too. I know, like, don't we have a trash can that needs to be like that we own, that we actually own, that needs to be placed somewhere?
I think we do. For some reason, Noah knew a lot more about that, even though he was just talking with someone about that a couple weeks ago, how there's still a trash can that hasn't been claimed and we were supposed to find an adoptee for it, but I knew nothing about it after 4 years. So
Yeah, I thought.
yeah, I know. I had no idea.
Delhi got the last one.
Maybe I don't even know. I will ask.
Mike.
Is it still the Alliance, I guess, who had the garbage cans, or have they turned them all over now to
The city's
to
kind of,
someone else? Okay,
what's his name? Mike of the,
Mike Delaney, Devaney, yeah.
yeah, Devaney.
I know last year one was placed on my block, the 100 block of East Clay. So I don't know if that was the last one or if there's still another one.
I thought at the time that was the last one, but I could be wrong.
What happened to that one that was on your corner, Andrew?
Am I still on? Okay, yeah. So one day Joy put out a post and she was asking, did anyone see where our garbage can went? I think someone stole it. And that's the weirdest thing to steal, especially considering they weigh about 100 pounds. And for about 2 weeks, no idea, but the trash wasn't like really getting bad on the street. And then I ended up walking a different way one day and I saw it's right over by the Park Avenue shoes. Just somebody, I know it's our can because I know exactly what our can looked like. It still has the same like bubble gum stuck on it. And they were emptying it. It was looking kind of good actually, and their block was looking a lot better. So I'm thinking, all right, we got Stubby has a can. We don't need to have a can. Somebody's taking care of it. They adopted it. They maybe the can didn't have a leash and they chipped it or something. I don't know, but they found it and now they've made it their own and it looks better. But this week I noticed it was getting really full, so it might have just been a busy week. So I'm going to keep an eye on it just in case it starts overflowing and I need to take it back home. I don't know. I don't want to be a battle.
That sounds like a win-win. Like your
I'm
block
happy.
is still clean and you don't have to empty the trash.
I'm happy. It looks great. And, you know, we're Stubby, Claude and I are still working together on our block. So it's fine. We don't need to have another garbage can there.
Cool.
I know Steve wanted one though at his area too, right? Over by the church.
We have one in front of the church, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that one's still there. Yeah, I know I was talking about moving his because there was one in front of a property and nobody was taking care of it anymore on New Street, just a couple down from you. So I don't know if that was where they were hoping to move it or if they had anything in mind for that.
There's one on my block just off at Shipping.
Yep. Yeah, between Shipping and your house. Yep.
So we have two on my block. So I think that should be sufficient.
So maybe I would be glad to take this up. I could talk with Michael and I can talk with whoever else I need to talk with and just maybe get an inventory of where the garbage cans are. If people are, I could do just a quick hop on the bike kind of thing and ride around and just see if they're actually emptied and if they're looking like they're being taken care of, and at least have something to present at the next meeting, what we need to do from there. If we need to set some fundraising goals to maybe get a couple more on the streets, if there's blocks that would like to be nominated, I'd be glad to take that one up because I always feel that trash is close to my heart.
Can you put that on your bio and the website when we revamp it?
Yes.
You also mentioned dog poop bag dispensers. I'd be down to support.
I would be down for every new garbage can to have a little side thing for the pull out the little poop bag thing. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, we had some other items in terms of meetings that we'll be able to schedule throughout the year. Oh yeah, Karen, what was the hospital guy's last name that you mentioned? I wrote it down as John Lines.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got it.
I guessed correctly.
You did. With everything going on at the hospital right now with the COVID, it's probably not a great time to contact him.
Yeah, agreed. And then we'll be able to schedule the school, meet the school board once we, we can either do that in the middle of the summer, say before school starts. Alex, it looks like you
they're
have an opinion.
also up for election. There are 4 school board seats up.
So is that something where we want to talk to candidates, or we had actually kind of phrased it as a meet the school board, like once the school board was seated? I'm good either way.
Well, that election's in November, of course.
Right.
So but meet the candidates.
Okay.
That was actually one of the very first things I I participated in after moving here in 2016. There was a meet the school board candidates in the playground of the Wharton Elementary, where I was living at the time, and that was awesome. You know, talked to several of them.
So do we want to say meet the school board candidates and say early October?
Sounds good.
Okay.
And am I correct in saying that's a little less of a partisan thing? It's more, is that something that really November decides it more than May?
Whoever's the candidate are going to be serving on school board, most likely. No one's, you know, scratching and clawing their way to get on school board. It's not, it's a thankless
Nice.
job, but that's unpaid.
That really, yeah. But you do get your name on that fancy plaque.
And you get vilified.
What a deal. Any other flags that people want to plant in terms of projects that are near and dear to you specifically?
I see Linda's on as well.
Hi, Linda.
Me.
Assuming that the school board candidates ends up being really non-partisan because there's only the same number of people running that are going to be filling the slot, I'd be happy to help with that. As long as it's not a conflict with being, you know, on the committee, city Democratic committee.
Cool. That sounds good. And of course, as this year progresses, we'll get to decide if things like National Night Out exist even. God, I hope so.
I hope so.
And then the other thing, just in general, that would probably be good to do, Carl had created that spreadsheet of organizations within the neighborhood to, like, you know, basically make contact with them and see how they're doing. And that never really took off. It would probably be good for that to take off, you know, so that we could be that glue. One of the things that we had talked about in the planning meeting last year is that this organization is kind of a glue organization. In that we are small and don't have a lot of like weight in and of ourselves, but if we are better connected to the organizations in our neighborhood, we can get people in contact with one another. And that's one where with that list of organizations, you know, you can put your name next to an organization and basically say that, yeah, I'll be the one that contacts that organization on a quarterly basis just to check in and see how things are going. See if, you know, there's anything they're proud of that they want to, you know, talk about to the neighborhood, or see if there's anything they need help with, et cetera.
I'm in on that.
Yeah, Karen, and you probably aren't even familiar with that spreadsheet. So I'll send that out specifically so that you can see it. Let's see. Andrew, I hope you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm like taking notes in the bottom of the planning document.
You know, that's perfectly fine. I see it popping up there, and I'm just doing it on a separate sheet so I don't keep typing over what you're typing and making a mess. So I'll correlate that all at the end.
Cool.
You're like the guitar player who can also sing. It's pretty amazing. Or like the drummer. Actually, you're like Phil Collins. Yeah, you can do that. Like Tarzan theme song from a drum set. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
I'm so bad at drums. What else would we like to talk about?
Bulletin boards.
Bulletin boards. Yeah, we need to start regularly putting stuff up there now, don't we?
Where are the stickers?
Apparently we gave them most of them away. So Carl brought back a bag of stuff, including the cash box, of which we argued about how much cash was left in it. He said $25 and I said $18. And so now Steve is auditing both of us. But in that bag, there was about 6 stickers.
Well,
So it sounds like we just need to buy more.
I'm thinking we need 4 right now. 1 on each side of the 2 bulletin boards we recently erected.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Stickers and then also the contact info. I did make an email alias that people can send info to if they want it on the bulletin board. I told Carl to just use hello@nulank.org. Right now, that just redirects to me. If you'd like to be on that alias, let me know.
I'm happy for you to get that email. What about Treasures Market?
I still got to buy that one.
And
we're just gonna buy one from Office Depot or Office Max or whatever it's called.
okay.
I took the measurements of where they want it, and it'll just be an interior corkboard one. They were not as keen on the idea of an outdoor one, so
Yeah.
but that means that the board itself only costs like $20. So it's, again, and it is in a visible, like highly trafficked part of the, so I'm okay with it.
I guess we had ambitions to pound the pavement and ask if other businesses wanted to have indoor bulletin boards.
Yes. I wonder if maybe we can get the printed version of the newsletter in the outdoor boards so that we then, also like have an example of what the printed newsletter looks like. That way, when we're going around to the businesses, we can say, yeah, we want to put up a bulletin board. This is the sort of thing that we will be putting on it once a month. Any other space, you can use whatever, you can use it for whatever you want. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah.
And I think Carl said that he had a template for making a printable version. So maybe with this last one that he just put out, I'll ask him if I can get the print friendly version, and then we can get it posted.
Did anyone else notice there's a couple of errors in the most recent one? Like it's called October.
Oh no, I didn't notice that actually.
Guess I should email him that. Great work, but you should call December and not October.
I was thinking about that new chicken place.
Briscoe's.
Yeah, it seems like
Briscoe.
it's getting popular. That might be a good place for a bulletin board too.
Yeah.
I know that Sluggers already has a bulletin board, and he's always been very open to us posting, maybe not a full size sheet of paper because there's not that much room on it, but he's always open.
I would love an excuse to go to Sluggers. Or Frisco's. I mean, they're both delicious.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll reach out to Carl to get the print one, and then we can start shopping that around. And I guess there's no reason we couldn't, like, so I know we post the newsletter. Like, would there be value in sharing the PDF of the newsletter either on the website or on Facebook?
Sure.
More the merrier.
Does anyone use QR codes anymore? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. I think it's growing.
Like just scan it. So if
Yeah.
you walk by, you read it, it's like, oh, what's this? And then if you have the phone, you scan it so it bridges the gap.
And like we could put the QR code onto the sluggers bulletin board, which has very little space available.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Your QR code could go on your stickers, your NU stickers.
That's true.
The shape of NU could be a QR code.
I don't know if I can make that happen or not, but if I can,
It might be too
sure.
much. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Karen. I know I saw that. It's like, no.
What else? Oh, we also we had some coffee talk.
Oh yeah. So today, Tim turned up on my porch with a large bag and small bag of coffee, and he had me hold them and do a little video with him. So, which is basically just recorded on his phone. He introduced me as a board member of Neighbors United, and then I described some of the things that we do. And he's posting that on his things. And then he asked me to do a box opening video, like making coffee, which I can probably do sometime over the weekend. Yeah, do a bit of promotion for the coffee, which, the initial sort of posts, people were like, yeah, cool. Seemed to be the reaction on Facebook.
Yeah, it looked like people actually might be interested in a pickup location if we can arrange one somewhere.
Well, okay. So also Tim did say to me that, of course, people can pick up at the Christian Street Roastery.
Oh, okay, cool.
And that's in our neighborhood. So we should tell people they can do that. And then he said, if it's not too far away, I'll even deliver it myself. And I was thinking, careful what you promise.
Yeah, this coffee still needs to be profitable for him to make it an ongoing concern,
Yeah. But so, and then, we had a kind of a little conversation about his plans, and I described some of the things that I've seen succeed and fail. A success being when I was living in Charlottesville, Virginia, a couple of guys started with a coffee cart at the hospital there and quickly became restaurateurs. Like it blew up. As opposed to Michael Sirianni's failure at Limerick, which that location is actually not next to the hospital. It's on the ass side of it, and no one goes there. And also, I think Limerick is a good cautionary tale of how not to start up a restaurant, which was piecemeal. So, and Tim said, yeah, I don't have a lot of capital. And I said, well, then don't start. Wait till you do have a lot of capital, then boom, open up a cool place in the neighborhood. And then, of course, he said, so if you know anybody, that want to partner with me, send them my way. So if you guys know anybody with like money to burn, they want to open a restaurant and lose all of their savings. Restaurants are horrible financial investments.
Even in the best of times, they're terribly difficult.
So that's my
thank you for the update. And it is good coffee. I mean, like, how did I phrase it? Like that's coffee that I could drink all day long, Karen, you're muted.
It is good coffee.
What else would we like to talk about this evening? Do we have a general consensus for the year ahead? Feeling good about that? I feel like we'll be busy. Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, let's adjourn and I'll get back to our evenings then. Any objections? All right. Thank you, everybody.
See you later, everyone.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.